Dr. Anjul Sharma, faculty in Diet Rajendra Nagar under SCRT Delhi. Today I am talking about sample lesson plan for two students who are blind and deaf blind. I have taken one chapter from NCRT book for class 1. Topic of lesson is मैं भी of Hindi subject. One student in class is totally blind and another is deaf blind. Totally blind student is congenitally blind, means by birth she is blind, and another is deaf blind. He is also congenital, mild congenitally, and its deafness is progressive. General objectives are to create interest in students in Hindi language and to motivate students to read stories. Another general objective is to develop the reading and oral skill of students, and another is to develop the language and cognitive ability of student. Specific objective of the lessons are to identify Quechua and Titli and to match the action with action words like घूमना, कूदना, पकड़ना, तैरना or डूबना, and to arrange the story cards in sequence and to state the moral of the story. Current level of these two students are able to read short and simple sentences, and they are able to orate short stories of about 6 to 8 sentences. Seating position of these two children who is totally blind is made to sit from where he can be in such a position from where she is able to hear the teacher's activity, and another student who is deaf blind is made to sit in the front row from where she can contact with the teacher is easily possible and also the teacher is audible. Both are made to sit along with a peer who can help them to understand and completing the task whenever due to their limitations they lag behind. Teaching aids for these children may be hand puppets, worksheets, audio recordings, story cards, models of duckling and a chick, and side word cards. Some adaptations will be needed in these teaching learning material for these two children. There may be some concrete objects used for teaching learning material should be labeled in big font size and also will be in braille. Short story cards should be made tactile sensitive and embossed to have a better learning experience and have braille captioning. Understand this. Side word cards should be black and white for better contrast and the least distraction in appropriate font size. Also have braille codes for the represented words. Now I will talk about universal design for learning based on the learning styles. As we know, there are mainly 4 learning styles: visual, auditory, kinesthetic and tactile. If any of the student in these two student is a visual learner, then multiple means of representation will be story view in audio video form. Multiple means for engagement will be watching video, and multiple means of expression may be sequencing story cards. If the learner is auditory learner, then the representation will be verbal representation of a story. Her engagement will be reading and expression will be oral storytelling. If the learner is kinesthetic learner, multiple means of representation may be dramatization using hand puppets. Multiple means of engagement it dramatize, and multiple means of expression is also dramatize. If the learner is tactile learner, then representation may be storytelling using story cards. Engagement may be drawing engagement, and expression will also be a worksheet. Now under heading previous knowledge, students are aware about the concept of the story. They are aware about the meaning of action words like eating, drinking, sleeping and so on. To check the previous knowledge of the student, teacher would show pictures of different vegetables and pulses and ask to name them. She will also show the models of original utensils and ask them to name it. Now, introduction of the topic. Objective is introductory activity. Teacher's activity will be the teacher would say, let's do a little drawing today. You can draw anything you want. She herself will draw a flower on the board and say, I have drawn a flower. Then she would like to ask her student A, who is totally blind, to draw with assistance of a buddy partner. Learner's activity, student would be expected to draw something with the help of their buddy or peer. Teaching learning material in this case will be pencil and sheet. Instructional strategy is creativity and handover writing. Next activity will be by the teacher will be she would ask what you all have drawn. Learner's activity, student would show their drawing. Now introductory statement by the teacher. Teacher would say we should not always copy others. I asked you to draw whatever you feel to draw. You should be original and creative. The teacher would give models labeled as choosa and duckling as in given in chapter to student A who is totally blind and another who is deaf blind. Let's see who is choosa and duckling in the story. Maybe is creative and original and who is nakalchi. Now the objective is the introduction of the story. Teacher's activity will be the teacher would tell the story verbally, dramatize using hand puppet and play a video for these students with some audible noise. Students' activity will be student would listen, watch and observe the narrated story. In this case, material required will be story cards and hand puppet links. Instructional strategy is storytelling. Now another objective is guided reading. The teacher would do model reading. Under student activity, student would read behind the teacher. Teacher will tell, then student will read behind them. In this case, material required will be textbooks, text in braille and text in bigger font. And instructional strategy is repetition. Now under another objective, explanation of new words, teacher activity will be the teacher would show the cited words and the related pictures to clarify the meaning of. Thank you.